Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying.
You called for a ceasefire in Ukraine. If Vladimir Putin doesn't come to the table to negotiate with you, will you put additional sanctions on Russia?
Sounds likely.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the video. Donald Trump, known for his bold and unpredictable behavior, has surprised everyone again. This time, his stance on Russia and the conflict in Ukraine is making waves. Many expected Trump to align with Russia to push for a peace deal in the Ukraine conflict. Instead, he has shown signs of supporting NATO, which could change the entire situation. In an early December 2024 interview with Time magazine, Trump made a controversial statement, declaring that he would not abandon Ukraine. Although he criticized Biden's decision to use long-range missiles against Russia, Trump emphasized the need for a peace agreement where Ukraine wouldn't be left behind. This statement gained attention, especially given long-standing suspicions about Trump's ties to Putin. These suspicions date back to 2016 during his first presidential campaign, when he faced accusations of colluding with Russia to undermine his rival, Hillary Clinton. The allegations led to a 2-year investigation by U.S. intelligence and the FBI, which found no concrete evidence of collusion, but didn't completely clear Trump of wrongdoing. During his presidency, Trump's relationship with Putin often raised eyebrows. Critics questioned whether Trump was too friendly toward Russia, especially after a 2018 summit in Helsinki, where he appeared to dismiss U.S. intelligence findings on Russian interference in the 2016 election. Recently, Putin congratulated Trump on his election win, calling him a brave man and saying Trump's promise to end the Ukraine war deserves attention. Putin even confirmed he's willing to talk with Trump about it. The relationship between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin has always been a source of debate and speculation, marked by both controversy and uncertainty. As Trump prepares to return to the presidency in 2025, many political analysts and observers assumed he would continue the same friendly approach toward Russia that he was known for during his first term. However, recent developments suggest that the dynamic between Trump and Russia might take a surprising and very different turn. Two key factors point to the possibility of a significant shift in Trump's approach. The first factor stems from a pivotal decision Trump made during his first term in 2019. At that time, he refused to approve the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, an international agreement designed to ban all nuclear testing and promote nuclear non-proliferation. While Russia signed and approved the treaty, Trump's refusal to follow suit was widely criticized as a step backward in global arms control efforts. This decision caused tensions between the United States and Russia, increasing mistrust and creating a setback in arms control negotiations. Although it didn't seem to have immediate consequences at the time, the implications of this move are now coming to the forefront as Trump reassumes leadership. By the end of 2024, shortly after Trump declared he would not abandon Ukraine, his team announced they were ready to negotiate a peace agreement for the Russia-Ukraine conflict. They proposed two key ideas to initiate talks. The first proposal was for Ukraine to postpone its NATO membership for at least 20 years, addressing one of Putin's main justifications for the invasion. The second idea involved deploying a European military contingent to Ukraine, not for combat, but to stabilize the region and support a lasting ceasefire. As expected, these proposals sparked global debate. Many questioned whether they could genuinely lead to peace or whether they were merely symbolic gestures. And what about Russia's reaction? Unsurprisingly, it was swift and highly critical. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov dismissed the proposals outright. He called the delay in NATO membership a superficial solution, comparing it to sweeping dirt under the rug. As for the idea of sending European peacekeepers, Lavrov rejected it entirely, stating that such a move would be unacceptable. Lavrov emphasized that the United States, not Europe, needed to take meaningful steps to improve relations with Russia. His message was clear. Achieving peace would not be as simple as Trump had envisioned. Trump, who once boasted he could resolve the conflict in Ukraine within 24 hours, acknowledged the complexities involved. He admitted that brokering peace in Eastern Europe might be even harder than achieving peace in the Middle East. Despite the challenges, Trump reaffirmed that securing a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine would be a top priority during his presidency. However, with tensions high and unresolved issues resurfacing, the road to peace remains long and uncertain. During Trump's first administration, there were talks about conducting nuclear tests, something the U.S. hasn't done since 1992. Although these discussions never went beyond the planning stage, they shocked many, given the long-standing moratorium on such tests. Now, some of Trump's advisors argue that resuming nuclear testing might be necessary to ensure the reliability and safety of the U.S. nuclear arsenal. They believe real-world tests, rather than computer simulations, are needed to address potential vulnerabilities. Russia's response to this possibility was swift and severe. They issued a stern warning to the U.S., urging it not to restart nuclear weapons testing. At the same time, Russia made it clear that if the U.S. proceeds, they won't rule out anything in response. This includes the possibility of resuming their own nuclear tests, a practice Russia hasn't engaged in since the Soviet Union's collapse in 1991. This escalating tension highlights the unraveling of critical arms control agreements between the world's nuclear powers. Treaties like the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which Russia had ratified years ago, are now crumbling. Recently, Russia even withdrew its participation in the treaty, claiming it was merely aligning itself with the US-ES stance. The breakdown of these agreements is raising global concerns about the potential return of nuclear testing, a development that could destabilize international security. The United States and Russia are now heavily focused on modernizing their nuclear arsenals, raising alarms among experts about the possibility of entering a new and dangerous era of nuclear testing. This concern is not unfounded, especially as Russia has recently relaxed its policies on the use of nuclear weapons, signaling an increased willingness to deploy them in response to enemy actions. These developments are closely tied to the ongoing war in Ukraine and the military support provided by the United States and other nations to aid Ukraine in its fight against Russia. The question now is whether Donald Trump will be able to deliver on his promise to bring an end to this nearly 3-year-long conflict. While his confidence suggests optimism, the reality feels reminiscent of the Cold War era, with global tensions running high and little sign of resolution in the near future. At the same time, Trump has made it clear that NATO must drastically increase its defense spending to prepare for a potential direct conflict with Russia. He has proposed raising the current spending requirement from 2% of GDP to as much as 4% or even 5%. This would represent a major shift in NATO's priorities and a significant financial burden for its member nations. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it insightful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates and discussions. See you next time.